we're going to pass the mic over to Shibtoshi at SquidGrow. And Shibtoshi, so I want to get an introduction of yourself in the space, but also take some time, 3, 4, 5 minutes to really kind of captivate the audience on what SquidGrow is, and really, I guess summarize it. It's a huge project, so 5 minutes is not that, but just really captivate the audience, give us the highlights of SquidGrow, and then we'll get into the full AMA after our full AMA.
Perfect. Thank you for having us. Happy to be here. What's up, everybody? I'm Shibtoshi. I'm the owner of SquidGrow. I have my CFO on here, RDub, and my CMO, Dane. I am been involved in the crypto space since 2011. I started out buying Bitcoin, kind of worked my way up the crypto ranks from there. I'm most notably known for my Shiba Inu investment that I did August 1st of 2020. I dollar costed into a little over $8,000 into SHIB, rode that all the way up to $5.7 billion. Never pulling profit on the way down. I still hold my bag currently over multiple wallets. On June 18th of 2022, me and my core team launched SquidGrow as a meme token utility. We hit the BSC chain hard. We launched at a $25,000 market cap. Day one shot up to $400,000 and have continued to climb from there. Our all-time high was about 53 million. We're currently around a $20 million market cap. We do have a buy and sell tax on our project. It's 4% buy, 12% sell. Every bit of that tax goes into our liquidity. None of it goes to marketing. I fully fund my marketing and growth of my project out of my own personal pocket. All the utilities, all the exchange listings that we are listed on, all the way from Gate.io down to CoinTiger being our smallest. We currently have a couple things that we are working on. We partnered with Mike S. Miller of DC Comics and Marvel and Game of Thrones to do our 10,000 piece NFT collection. We have a set of 100 ultra rare NFTs where we're giving away NFTs such as mutant apes, kennel clubs, doodles, goblins, metaverse land, so on and so forth. We are gearing up for our Ethereum launch. We have been building a bridge since September. The bridge is done and audited. So we are going to start rolling that out with our initial liquidity offering. In addition to that, we are building our NFT marketplace where NFTs will be able to be purchased, but also other projects' NFTs can be listed there as well. And kind of the highlight of what I'm most excited about is also since June, we've been building our own exchange. It's called SGX. It's a decentralized perpetual exchange where you'll be able to, trade your futures on there, short Bitcoin, long it, Ethereum, BNB, so on and so forth. And the benefit to the community with SGX is that all the profit generated on the exchange, a percentage of those will go back into the chart versus, as a buyback and also into liquidity. So pretty excited about that. And yeah, that's kind of everything summed up in a nutshell.
All right, man. Super bullish on SquidGrow. Super strong community over there. It has over 15,000 holders. And if you end up posting anything about SquidGrow, you're absolutely going to get rated. So I love the community, love the vibes, love the vision. Super excited to deep dive into SquidGrow right after as well. All right, Shibtoshi, what's up, man? Are you ready?
Man, I've been ready. I'm just over here knocking out a couple sets of push-ups. Getting ready to go.
Let's go. We got our man Shibtoshi. We got RDub on the mic. We got Dane. Always excited when you guys come here. You guys bring a tremendous amount of energy, not only with your community, but with what you got going on with SquidGrow. All right.
That's right.
Sir. So I know you kind of gave us a recap, but let's start back a little bit on the vision of SquidGrow, on where it came from, and kind of run us up into the fall, and then we'll jump into some utility and stuff like that.
Sure thing, man. So SquidGrow is conceptualized, based around the idea of giving my friends and family a safe place to invest their money. Over the time in the crypto space, I've seen many of my friends lose money in scams and, different rugs and so on and so forth. And, some of my very close friends were just, kind of in my ear, why don't you do your own thing? Why don't you launch your own project? So I started kicking around the idea of launching my own project. Can you hear me okay?
Yes,
Okay,
yep,
for sure. So, I started dabbling into the realm of coding Solidity. I started taking some online classes. I found a 3-month course. I actually took it twice. Still didn't quite understand it. So in November of 21, I reached out to a coder on Code Mentor. He was a highly rated dev over there, and I had him code several contracts for me, one of them being SquidGrow. And, through my fumbles of trying to figure out how to deploy these contracts, I realized there was another project that had already dropped, Squid Games. Everybody knows it turned out to be a scam. So we decided to shelf the idea. And, some months went by and my friends were kind of persistent about dropping a project. And it was around this time that I met my CFO, RW, in a whale room for another project. And we started talking and just talking about the space in general and, how it's plagued with these scammers, and our views and philosophies were the same, as far as, how we wish the space was changed. And, how you change something is it starts with you essentially, and it catches on. So we decided that we were to come out with our own project. We kind of went back and forth with the name. And then, I had disclosed to RW that I had a couple contracts that were ready to go. SquidGrow was my favorite because I really like the style, the way that the contract was set up. So ultimately, we decided to do a stealth launch on the BSC network. We started with a $25,000 market cap and grew from there. Obviously, started with providing a safe place and for friends and family, and that grew to my community. And we've got a decent following now in our community. I mean, we've got an army of 8,000 that just, spreads the awareness of our project on Twitter and on Telegram and just YouTube, all over the place. I mean, I couldn't be happier, but we decided to, launch in this market, kind of, it's hard to say whether it's like beginning of the bear or midpoint towards the end or whatever, but we decided to launch in the bear market to really focus on building our foundation, which is our community, and building out our utility. So when the bull run comes back around, we're already somewhat established. We've weathered the back half of the bear market, grown our community, grown our following, and built our utility. And I think we'll definitely be much more appealing to investors when the market starts coming back.
Absolutely. I apologize. I was in the middle of hydrating myself, drinking a bottle of water, and I couldn't reach that mute button. Yeah, no, I absolutely love what you guys done with the SquidGrow. So essentially, what you guys are you're combining mean utility and massive marketing with this project. And if anyone in this room, go ahead and scroll through the listeners, and you'll see the SquidGrow emblem really pop out at you. Everyone's wearing it as their PFPs, but it'll just pop out. It's bright, it's vibrant, it's likable, it's catchy. So you guys have the mean aspect down, especially like you said, you combine the likes of Squid Games and Evergrow and kind of combine them together. You guys launched in a bear market,
Yep.
but not only did you guys launch in a bear market, but you did extremely well in bear market. Especially, I think it was the run. I mean, you guys have always been kind of pumping up, throughout the summer, but you guys really got onto the scene. I think it was August or September. Can you talk about the success during those months and what really led up to that?
Yeah, man. So, during those early days, I partnered with Blockchain Brothers, which Dane, my CMO, is a member of, and really started collabing on different methods that we could start tackling this the mad methods of marketing. And they brought some very unique views on the marketing standpoint. Obviously we did the basic, call channels, AMAs, and kind of started growing from there. We did a massive billboard campaign in 9 different states. We hit, AMA, or excuse me, MGM in Vegas. We hit Elon's headquarters. I mean, just kind of just all over the place. We were popping up billboards, Times Square, and just kind of running with it and promoting it, and having our community have a little bit of an ammo to kind of spread awareness, behind us. Dane, you kind of want to touch a little bit on some of the marketing that we did in the early days?
Yeah, I mean, it was not easy. It was a very boring summer of 2022, and it was on BSC, which was a little bit less than Ethereum at that time. So, we came out as every project should, screaming, going crazy. We did the exchange store too. I think listing about 10 in the first 2 months. We were actually on BKEX and Bitmart before we even got on CoinMarketCap. We came out so fast. It was definitely, one hell of a ride. But as you guys all know, liquidity is key. And as you rise so fast, you do have to correct at some point. So we corrected. We sort of calmed down a little bit, established some floors, and held those as best we could. And have spent the last 7 months basically building this ecosystem that we can get into a bit more now. And marketing is always a part of that. And the fun part of this journey thus far is, as Satoshi said, we built up a pretty killer community that stood by us the whole way. And that's really our secret weapon. It has been and will continue to be as we drive forward.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. Community really makes or breaks a project. You guys have done a great job putting some good mods in place and raiders in place. The likes of William Wallace down there, Papa Stonks. I see MJ, you got SquidGrow Joe with you. I mean, you guys are all just showing up. And, there's probably about 14 or 15 others that I can name right off the top. But in all, about 15,000 holders. And it seems like almost every single one of them is active. It's absolutely nuts. And you guys mentioned major marketing. There's some utility that's, a lot of utility that's coming up. But before we get into that, I think it's important to touch on the tokenomics of SquidGrow with the taxes. And the not the one intriguing thing, but the most intriguing thing about your marketing. Can you talk about the tokenomics, the taxes, and then how that affects the coin, and then also your marketing?
Yeah, for sure. So I will say off the bat, we are not a burn token. I'm completely against burning. So you'll never, see me burning tokens, talking about burning tokens. We utilize our tokens for exchanges and some of our other utilities such as staking and so on and so forth. But currently we are running a 4% buy tax and 12% sell tax. All of that, as I previously stated, goes into our liquidity. So my focus is on liquidity building. The early days of Shiba, some close friends of mine that decided to pull some profit, experienced some liquidity issues. And, I've placed my focus on building liquidity so that my investors never have to experience that if they ever choose to pull profit or exit SquidGrow. In addition to that, you might ask, okay, so where's all the funding come from? How'd you list on 11, 12 exchanges if there's no marketing wallet? Well, I fully fund all of my marketing and utilities out of my own pocket. We are not profiting from it. As I said previously, all of the tax goes to liquidity. I fully back my project 100%. And, some might ask, well, why aren't you hitting it harder? Why isn't your market cap larger? Why aren't you pumping mass amounts of money into the project? I have done my fair share of buybacks, a few $100,000 buybacks, at a time. But, it's my philosophy that, I'm not trying to, run a charity here, and just have an open checkbook and just, pump the chart up for everybody to exit. I believe, what Shiba and Doge did, where they rallied the communities and the communities went out there and spread the awareness. They formed a small army. And so that's essentially the model that I'm going after, building that strong, tight community foundation. And the community works with the project to, spread awareness, attract new investors, and grow their own personal bags. And obviously the core team in the background is doing their part with marketing and building utilities and spending money where it needs to be spent. In a way that, it's not affecting the community. What I mean is, it's not coming out of the money's not coming from community funds, such as from tax or so on and so forth. We are not a reward token. We do offer token staking, so that is an incentive to our holders to earn passive income. We have fairly decent APRs. They are variable. I believe our native coin staking right now is around 20%, and we also offer liquidity staking, which is around 100% APR.
Yeah, no, I think you hit the nail on the head. Spending money out of your own pocket, to market the project, but you are not the investors exit liquidity. You believe in the project, you believe in the utility. And one thing's for certain, like, you could spend a tremendous amount of marketing all at once, or money on marketing all at once, you'll be there, you'll be known, and then people will forget about you. So I personally believe it's important to kind of plug away at it a little bit of time and be more, obviously you came on the scene and you exploded, which is super important in building that base community, but then just reminders and reminders and reminders. And then, you spend money when the utility comes.
Slow and steady.
Slow and steady. Absolutely.
Yeah. Momentum, guys. Momentum is key. I think everybody here knows a little bit about that. It's clear that all the projects here are some killers. I think we're all pioneers of the space when it comes to the meme utility token and showing people that are not really familiar with what we're doing in this space that these projects have evolved and crush a lot of what they consider blue chips even. And but yeah, it really is about momentum with marketing. And speaking of momentum, Shitoshi and I, we're starting to pick that up again, and our community especially. In fact, Shitoshi and I were actually on a interview with entrepreneur.com just a couple hours before this. So we're definitely going to start cranking up the marketing a bit more. I think it's worth pointing out before we move on that that LP tax that we're talking about is being used to establish higher floors more and more. But eventually we do plan on lowering that as well. Like the other projects mentioned, they would. I think that's something that all projects do in time as they grow in size. But when you start out, you do have to build liquidity. So that's a really key thing that I think all projects have as they grow. And then, of course, the centralized exchange listings, I wanted to make a note of that. We will definitely be bringing out more of those. I think it's important to mention the timing of those. For instance, if you drop a tier one in a month, you may not get the same effect as if you drop a tier one in 6 months when maybe we're at 30 or 40K. So, we always are watchful of macro to see when is the actual best time to launch. But prior to going onto these extra tier ones and tier twos, which will come, we will obviously be going onto ETH first. And that's what we're really excited about right now is being able to bring our BSC project over to the big boys on ETH.
Absolutely. And, some of the marketing that you guys have done recently up in the Jumbotron, I did pin a tweet from Shiptoshi's main handle there. Dane, did you want to touch on what that series is going to cover?
Yeah, as of now, I can't see what you posted on the Jumbotron on my phone, but I'm assuming I know what it is. Yeah, I can't really touch on the teasers. Those they will attest and speak for themselves when the time comes. So yeah, it's not something I'm comfortable with touching on. As one of the mottos we live by over here is under promise, over deliver, and I'd much rather surprise my community than kind of spoil it. Obviously, as we get closer to different things coming out, we start talking about it a little more and more, a little more openly. But as of now, those little teasers is what you got.
Man, you know what? I figured out of one of these AMAs I was going to get you to slip, but you're tight-lipped over there. All right, but for anyone who wants the teaser, it's up in the Jumbotron up there. A little background on Shitoshi, I believe, from what I've seen. So go ahead and give that a like, give it a retweet. You'll get an idea of what's going on there. Now, so let's get into some utility a little bit. There's 3 aspects, and I'll let you kind of run the story of how you want to do it. But we got the NFTs. You have your exchange, and then we have a bridge coming up. What did you want to touch on first?
Yeah, I'll start kind of from the beginning if I could with the staking contracts and kind of work our way up.
It's your show, my man.
If that's okay.
Your show.
All right, and real quick, a little side note: you want to catch me slipping, you got to catch me in one of my 8-hour-long VCs in my community as I'm getting tired. That's where I get a little loose.
All right, where can they find those?
In our Telegram, in our official blue check Telegram group.
All right.
You can locate that on our official website, squidgrow.wtf. We have all the links to our channels there.
Awesome. All right, so kick us off with utilities.
Okay, so kind of starting out, the first thing we debuted was our staking contracts, as I previously mentioned. We've got our native coin staking and our liquidity staking. They are variable. There is no locking periods on those staking contracts, although there is a 2% tax to get into the staking contracts. And if you're asking yourself what happens to that fee, it goes back into the staking pools to help it be self-sustaining. So the tax that you pay, you will get back in rewards. Obviously, everybody benefits that's utilizing the staking contracts. So kind of moving along, a couple months back, I partnered with Mike S. Miller from DC Comics, Marvel, and Game of Thrones. Very well-known comic book artist. Spectacular work, but he's done a 10,000 piece NFT collection for us, and out of those 10,000 NFTs, We have 100 ultra rares is what we're calling them. And the ultra rares are similar to what my PFP is on my Twitter profile. It's one of our NFTs holding a Polaroid picture of another NFT. And we are giving away, NFTs such as Mutant Apes, Kennel Clubs, Doodles, Goblins, Metaverse Land, so on and so forth. So, you could potentially mint one of our NFTs and get an NFT that at the time of purchase was valued at about $25,000 in regards to like the Mutant Apes. So kind of a cool thing, kind of out of the box. I hadn't seen any NFT projects doing anything like that, so decided to incorporate that. In addition to that, we've been building our Ethereum bridge since I believe September. The bridge is concluded and audited. We are gearing up to do our ETH launch. We will be doing an initial liquidity offering where anybody that contributes will get a bonus in tokens for your contribution, and also offering to our existing BSC holders the ability to trade in BSC tokens for Ethereum tokens for an added benefit as well. And we're not obviously doing away with BSC. We're gonna be live on BSC and Ethereum, so we'll be multiple chains. And one of the cool things about our bridge is, like most bridges, we have the ability to chain to other networks as well. So we're not going to just be limited to the Ethereum chain. So I'm pretty excited about that. Going back to my home turf. We have our own swaps. At the, BSC and Ethereum will have its own native swaps where our staking contracts are integrated into, and you can essentially, starting out, you'll only be able to buy SquidGrow token, but as we move along, we will be integrating other projects into our swaps as well, if we deem it's a good fit. And one cool thing about our staking contracts, and I've not publicly spoken on this, but the way that I have had them made is I have the ability to make multiple pools. So if we were to do some kind of partnership with another project, their community, for example, Volt, could take their Volt token and stake it in my staking contracts and earn SquidGrow token while staking in our contracts. So that's kind of cool. That's a way to bring multiple projects together. In addition to that, we're building our NFT marketplace where our NFT collection will be listed for sale. We will also be integrating other projects that deem that they want to list with us as well on our marketplace. And in addition to that, the revamp we're doing on the website right now for the swaps, we are integrating our fiat on-ramp into that. Well, not our fiat on-ramp. We have partnered with a fiat on-ramp to make the purchase of cryptocurrency a little easier, with a credit card. You won't be able to directly purchase SquidGrow. It will be BNB, Ethereum, USDC, USDT, so on and so forth. But just kind of makes the transition a little easier, starting to dabble into the crypto space if you're a beginner. And one of the things I'm most excited about is we are rolling out our own perpetual exchange. It's SGX. It's a perpetual swap. You will be able to short and long Bitcoin, Ethereum, USDT, BNB. We're going to have many tokens listed on there. But the unique thing about this is the back half of that exchange has the capability to be either a decentralized exchange or a centralized exchange. But the back half of that will not be open and active until we acquire our licensing to do that. And as an added benefit, talking about SGX, we have integrated a staking contract for our NFTs, so our users will be able to stake our NFTs on our platform for reduced trading fees on our exchange. And the best part, as I said, is all the profits generated there, a percentage of those will go into our charts, both as into a buyback and into liquidity. So it's going to help the strength of the overall community and the project. In addition to that, I think that's it. Dane, I think that's all we're going to touch base on, right?
Yeah, you smashed that, man. You're getting really good at summarizing all the stuff we have.
I don't want to give too much if we've not spoken about it yet.
You were about to go on. You're like, and
yeah, I was, but I had to check myself.
Stop. And then that's it. No, there's just about 45 different things that you just mentioned there. So I wouldn't say that's it. I'd say that's a lot.
Well, I mean, it's all about, obviously as you're building something from scratch, you have a certain amount, as I'm sure any project on here can attest to, setbacks with the dev teams. Maybe the front end's not functioning right with the contracts, or the UI is not right, or, there's just small little, missteps. So that's why we're a very firm believer on not setting timelines to our community. I never want to let anybody down and tell them, hey, we're going to have this on this date, and then I have to eat my words. So we just kind of, as we start getting progressively close to dropping something, we'll start talking about it, but never giving a date. But, normally we start talking about things as it's going into audit, which is what we have done, and kind of, we debuted our SDX announcement in Crypto Magazine. That was the first place anybody was able to actually read about that. So, Crypto Magazine's a big publication for crypto, and they had the rights to break that story to everybody. So that was pretty cool. They wrote up a nice little article, and that's when we started talking about our exchange. Yeah, and we're just hitting the ground running. We're gonna have things such as VIP tiers and copy trading. I'm definitely really excited about it. And this is just one small step in the right direction for the overall vision of the project.
Absolutely. And you guys have done a phenomenal job up until here. So to be releasing this utility to your holders, it's got to be very rewarding for you. And I can tell you're excited about it. So super bullish. Obviously the exchange is going to be feeding the charts, but I think the ETH bridge might be the next catalyst in line. Am I wrong?
Oh man, I'm super excited about the ETH bridge, man. I'm an ETH whale. I thrive on Ethereum. I've got big friends over there that I could not twist their arms to invest into the BSC token. So I'm very excited to see what Ethereum brings, and to be back on the home turf, and the potential partnership that is going to come with being on that chain. Not to mention the various different exchanges we can list on, because now we're on Ethereum. So it's definitely something I'm really looking forward to. I know my community is chomping at the bit, waiting for us to drop that news. So it's definitely a very exciting time.
Absolutely. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Ardub.
Sorry, I was just going to say, I think that's definitely, where the most excitement is at the moment is around the ETH launch. And like Shibtoshi said, we don't like to give dates. I think it's important to point out that both Shibtoshi and I, we're not developers ourselves. So we're kind of at the mercy of developers some of the time, which is, the reason that we don't give these dates. But what I can say definitely about the ETH launch is that we are closer than we've ever been, and, things are really gearing up.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, I'm not a dev myself, more of the marketing piece and, the social aspect of our project, but I've learned quite fast. You never give exact dates or times on dev work. You have to maybe give an ETA or, hey, this is coming, but until it's brought to the table, you don't want to put that type of pressure on a quality dev. You just want quality products. So I can't blame you guys there.
Definitely.
Awesome. So I guess I'm going to open it up after the community call, I guess, to anything we may not have touched on, or, you want these listeners here today to know, or whatever it may be. But let's talk about the community. Where can the listeners find you guys? Where can they hang out? What's the community like?
Man, our community is, something I'm most proud of. Obviously we're thriving in Telegram right now, but we're also making a presence on Twitter. You can find, as I said earlier, our official Telegram link on our website. It's also in my bio on Twitter. We've got about 8,000 community members over there, and every single one of them are active. I mean, we're always doing different giveaways, different events within the channel, and just engaging our community. I mean, the community runs itself essentially. I mean, there's no FUD there. Everybody's super helpful to one another. If somebody comes in and has questions, there's always somebody there that can answer the questions, and the team's always accessible. And that's one big feature of the project that, was a big deal to me. Launching my project, I've noticed as an investor, it's very hard to get in direct contact with the core team members if you have specific questions. So we have made ourselves very accessible to all of our investors. You can reach us on Twitter or Telegram. If you have a specific question and you decide to DM us, you just drop us a line in Telegram, tag us with our and we'll get back to you as soon as we're able to. But I mean, the community, man, that's where it's at, and that's what it's about.
Absolutely.
100%, dude.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say in closing, I want to say thanks from the SquidGrow family for all you guys stuck around here. I think that's awesome. Bolt and Alpha and Elon Goat. I know you guys all have huge communities yourself, and probably a lot of you guys listening. I just want to give a shout out to all 4 communities because I think everybody here, whether you've been in the space for a year, 3 years, or 10 years, you're all OGs. You're all legends in my eyes because this has been a brutal bear market, definitely one of the worst in history. And the fact that you're here now means you're setting yourself up for truly generational wealth. So kudos to you guys for sticking around. Much respect for all the projects here. I think we're all 4 going to see a lot of each other in the coming years. And I think that the path forward, as I've said previously, is to find ways to work together as opposed to get each other's throats. I think that's a thing of the past. And the people that are here now understand that. And I look forward to seeing all you guys again. I'm sure we all cross paths in ways that we don't know. And good luck to everybody here in all 4 communities. I hope you make tons of money because the more money that you guys make, the more money that means is coming into this space. So if we can all 4 succeed and go to the billions, that would be better for everybody. So again, yeah, that's big thank you to everybody here that's listened.
Yeah, and that's one thing I've noticed on this space. I mean, hearing from all these other dev teams, a lot of their views and philosophies are very similar to my own. So it's really positive to hear other dev teams, take the same approach to the space and put in community first. So that's a big positive. And there's more than enough room at the top for many projects. There's no need or reason to be at each other's throats. So, best of luck to all of y'all and your community, and I hope that everybody, achieves their goals and their ambitions.
Absolutely. And it's been fun to watch your community come along and grow. The likes, I just pinned it to the Jumbotron. I see him in here today, SquidGrow Dro. He was a YouTuber and kind of reformatted himself to be a YouTuber for SquidGrow, it seems. So I pinned him up there. He's a big contributor. Shout out to SquidGrow Dro. Go give him a follow. Also, I saw you guys had an artist drop a music video for you today, which is pretty cool. I listened to that by Sesh. I'll pin that up in the Jumbotron for you. So all the listeners here today, go give a shout out to Sesh, especially the SquidGrow community. I mean, someone putting that type of dedication to helping push the name out there and give it some vibes behind it is pretty cool. So go put a like and a retweet on that. Yeah, man, just kudos to you. It takes a good leader to really build a community like you have going and a team. Not just a leader, but a team like RDub, Dane, Shitoshi, and your mods, your Telegram, really sticking around and rallying up the community. So kudos to you for that, man.
I appreciate that, man. Yeah, and shout out to Shash, man. He's done a couple fire videos for us, and he drops them randomly whenever he gets the inspiration to do so. And I got to tell you, they're damn catchy.
Absolutely.
I listen to him. I always listen to him a couple times over and over, man. He's really sharp with his words. I'm very, very humbled that somebody would take their time and drop a music video and track.
No, it's definitely awesome, and it's just marketing that you can't really pay for in a way. It's something different. So awesome. Kudos to you guys, SquidGrow Joe, Sesh showing up, the Army, SquidGrow Army, Chiptoshi, RDub. Welcome. Thank you very much for coming to this AMA today. All right, everybody, we're gonna wrap this up with some